What up, what up, what up? Back again for another great episode of the Sick Podcast Rams Recap. We're going to get into two topics today. One of them, I'm just a little curious of why we keep signing players that the community obviously responds to negatively. But we'll cover that without being too mean. And also, I got a spicy topic today talking about why Matthew Stafford is a top 5 quarterback. I mean, I ruffled some feathers, but we'll get into it. So, Sammy, let's hit that intro.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Rams Recap with LaQuan Jones.
They rush forward. Burrow to throw for it. He's hit. He's hit. He's sacked. He throws it away. He flings it away on 4th down. Aaron Donald got there, and you can build that man's statue out SoFi Stadium right now. The greatest of all time on defense. Does it in the biggest moment of Super Bowl 56.
The sickest Los Angeles Rams podcast. It's gonna be sick.
Let's go. Listen, honestly, I don't know why. I don't know why we do the things we do sometimes. I mean, this was the latest news. This was rather recent. If you don't know, the Rams have signed Troy Reeder back, and he's a linebacker that obviously the community is not very happy with for obvious reasons. I mean, our time with Troy Reeder since 2019 has been a lot of ups and downs. I would say 2021 was his best season with us, and then he went on to the Chargers the following season. But he has found his way back to LA once again. Honestly, I thought he was going to hit free agency and kind of figure out his way, find another team to find another home, to be a depth piece, but he's back. But I do not think he's coming back to be a starter, and I also don't think that this move kind of takes us out of the conversation of taking a off-the-ball linebacker in this coming draft. So honestly, having Nathan Landman, having Omar Speights, having Troy Reeder, who is a former starter for us, and again, he knows the system. He knows how, I guess, somewhat of how this works, even though the biggest problem with him, the biggest problem that I had personally is the missed tackles. There's so many times where you see him gets an arm on a player or on a running back and they just slip through. It's like, if you could touch them, grab them. That's just how I feel sometimes when I see some of these guys go out there and miss the tackles. And just to be clear, it wasn't just him missing tackles as well. Like, you also look at Christian Roseboom, he missed a lot of tackles as well. That's just what it's been when it comes to our linebackers in the last few years. I mean, Ernest Jones, he has missed, but he also had his issues of missing tackles as well, but he just was the best of the best of the crop when it came to our linebackers. But overall, looking at this decision to bring him back, we have depth. We have depth at the position. I am never, ever, ever going to come up here and be mad when we add depth guys, especially guys who are former starters, especially guys who are familiar with the system, the environment, and the culture. So there's that. I understand some of the Rams folks, they were very unhappy. They were very mean on the timeline. Like, I had to read a couple of these, like, dang, what did he do to you? Did he take your girlfriend? I mean, did he do something personal to you? Like, you guys were relentless. Like, I like to come up here and be a little bit nicer than most out there, but I understand the frustration. My frustration levels are just as high as yours, but I won't be on the internet be kicking my man back in. My man got a family, and my man still needs to cash these checks like everybody else. So I am okay with the fact that he is back in the building. I just feel as though we should navigate this draft in getting a linebacker. If it's at the 26th pick or if we trade back somehow, get into the second, either way, we cannot leave this draft without a linebacker. Now, moving on, the draft is in 2 weeks. There are so many question marks to even really figure out what we can do. I've covered this in previous episodes of what we can do at that 26 spot. I'm okay with us going with offense. Go all in on the offense. Go all in. I mean, look, if we take a tackle, we take a tackle. We need somebody to replace Rob Havenstein to get the blind side of Matthew Stafford, because the most important thing for us to do is to protect Matthew Stafford at all costs. This 2-year window that we got, maybe even longer. I'm not even going to even think short term. Like, just because it says what it says on paper that he's with us for 2 years, that doesn't mean that it's going to be a lock for 2 years. I honestly think that Matthew Stafford's going to play as long as he can, as long as his body physically can, because he's one of the toughest SOBs out there in the NFL. So our mission, obviously, at the top of the totem pole for me personally as well, is that we get a quarterback that can learn under Matthew Stafford, be in that room and get the experience and be able to take the keys whenever Matthew Stafford decides to hang it up. Second topic. This is why I think he is top 5. There are so many people out there. I tweeted yesterday, last night, basically saying my top 5. I had Patrick Mahomes at the top. The boy, we can really not really debate that at this point who's the best in football. It's Patrick Mahomes. That boy is just special. He's playing at a different level. He sees the field from a different lens. It's just Patrick Mahomes. But at 2 and 3, you could fight and debate if it's Josh Allen or if it's Lamar Jackson. We know how dynamic these players are. So 2 and 3, boom, right there. 4, it has to be Matthew Stafford. And this is what got a lot of people all their panties in a bunch. Do you understand what this man had to go through? Do you understand what happened last season? To start the season off with your 2 best targets basically going down in week 1 and week 2, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. You have to make the best of what you can with the reliable targets out there for a Tutu Atwell, a DeMarcus Robinson, a Jordan Whittington, and company. You have to understand, to be the quarterback that he is, to keep this team afloat, while your guys are missing 5 to 6 weeks, important players and key pieces to this playbook to even work. Shout out to Tutu for stepping up when he had to in crucial moments downfield and converting on 4th down and 3rd downs and et cetera, et cetera. Shout out to DeMarcus Robinson being a deep threat at times and being red zone Robinson and being able to find the end zone more often than not when targeted. So shout out to Matthew Stafford for elevating players around him, because this is kind of what he does. I mean, honestly, even looking at the O-line coming into the season, there were some move arounds and then there were some injuries. So therefore, the constant missing pieces on his offense that he is constantly having to work with. Back-to-back seasons with this, by the way. In 2023, we started the season off without Cooper Kupp, where we had to find a gem in Puka Nacua. Let's not forget, in the middle of 2023, we lost Kyron Williams, a key pass blocker, our O-line, also dealing with injuries. Also, our team not being at full strength with Matthew Stafford returning back from injury, one of the toughest SOBs in the game. And look how 2023 turned out. I understand we lost to the Lions, lost by 1 point, but we were not supposed to be there. A lot of people were signing us off. Like, oh, the Rams are done. They're done. They're done. You think they're going to go out there and have a rookie go out there and break records? Well, he did. We became the most dangerous team on the back end after that bye week, which happened last season as well. After the bye week, we really only have 2 losses. I'm not counting that Seattle loss, the last game of the week. We didn't have our starters in. It is what it is. But to have only 3 losses after the bye last season and rally to the playoffs, it takes a quarterback of Matthew Stafford's high IQ and understanding of football. The toughness. I mean, my man broke his ribs in week 15 against the 49ers. Took a crazy hit, a disgusting hit, but still went out there and put the team on his back. There is no other quarterback below him that you can replace him at that number 4 spot, saying that they're a better overall quarterback. Everybody wants to go to the numbers. Sure. Read all the numbers off that you want. The lowest completion percentage, this and this and that. Great, cool. That's fine. Go ahead and read off more numbers. But when it comes to actually playing this goddamn game, when it comes to actually going out there and showing up when you need to, there really isn't many quarterbacks better than Matthew Stafford. I have Joe Burrow at 5. Joe Burrow got nothing to really show for in these last couple of years. It's been a while since we seen him in the playoffs and actually do something. I mean, hey, you went to the Super Bowl, great, but you lost to Matthew Stafford and the Rams. See how that kind of worked out? You went to the playoffs the following year in 2022. Hey, that was a bad year for the Rams. Matthew Stafford only played 9 games. It was just a complete mess, a complete disaster. But when you look at these last 2 seasons, you cannot tell me you could put a quarterback anywhere near the situation that he was in and that they would make the playoffs. Burrow missed the playoffs last season. He has nothing to show for since that Super Bowl appearance, other than he has the 2 highest paid wide receivers on the team. That's about it. You just got high class wide receivers paid. That's it. But again, I digress there with Joe Burrow being at 5. That is my top 5 right there. There is no other quarterback. Like, I hear names like Dak, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, of all people. Justin Herbert. My man, what? Threw 4 interceptions against the Texans this past season in the playoffs. What are we talking about? He only has 2 touchdown passes in his playoff appearances, ladies and gentlemen. So I do not want to hear Justin Herbert's name anywhere near Matthew Stafford or top 5. Jalen Hurts, we can iron it out. I just feel as though you take away a lot of key pieces to his game, which is the tush push, Saquon Barkley, and all these other stuff, the great O-line. I'm not going to nitpick there, but Jalen Hurts is at 6 for me. 6. And it's not like he's at the far bottom list. I've heard people say he's not even top 10, which is crazy to me. But Jalen Hurts, to me, he gets his flowers. He gets his respect. He's holding up that Lombardi. I understand that people want to push him in that top 5, but he is not as cold-blooded as a Matthew Stafford. He's not. He's not. He has the rushing ability that Matthew Stafford doesn't have, but he doesn't have that football IQ or ice in the veins. It's 30 seconds left. It's 4th down. It's 4th and 12. I'm going to chuck it up and get it to my guys and make the play. That is who I'd rather have in the driver's seat than a Jalen Hurts, a Justin Herbert, a Dak Prescott, a Joe Burrow, et cetera, et cetera. There is no other reason why I feel as though that these victories have come how they came, honestly, with all the missing pieces, and for our team to stay afloat with all these missing pieces, it comes down to Matthew Stafford. And of course, got to give credit to Sean McVay as well. It's a beautiful marriage between these two. Like, honestly, I think some of the decision making of getting Cooper Kupp out of LA was because I think Sean McVay has something up his sleeve, which we obviously saw with Devontae Adams coming in, but I don't think he's done. I think he's going to open up this playbook. Things just got a lot more simpler for him. And when you have a quarterback of Matthew Stafford's caliber, you're able to go out there and have that confidence that you can get back to the Super Bowl. Because just think about it. Okay, you're going to have to leave one of these guys open on the perimeter. You're going to have to leave Puka Nacua on a one-on-one. You're going to have to leave Adams on a one-on-one at some point. And not to mention Tutu Atwell, where Sean McVay is basically saying, I'm going to be able to utilize him. Well, I have to utilize him more. That's what that paycheck looks like. That $10 million contract looks like he's going to be utilized a lot more. And Tutu showed up last season. Stafford showed trust in him in very crucial moments of just chucking the ball downfield and Tutu coming down with it. So therefore, I look at this offense as one of the most dangerous offenses in the NFL right now. Because who are you going to stop in that red zone? Is it Puka? Is it Adams? Hey, Tyler Higbee. Our tight ends are very, 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 very lethal in the red zone as well. Higbee got to stay healthy, though. But more so looking at it like even our run game of how clutch Kyron Williams comes in at times. How clutch, how this run game really, we have to rely on it sometimes in short yardage situations where it's like 3rd and 1 or 4th and 4 or et cetera, et cetera. Kyron's very good in between the tackles. So there is really nothing about this offense that I am worried about. It's only health that stops us. That's how we get in our own way. But more so looking at what Matthew Stafford brings to the table, he's going to be able to support multiple pass catchers in this offense now. If we have a healthy O-line, he's going to be able to go out there and dice it up. He's going to be able to just light it up downfield because, you got to try to tackle Puka because off of first contact, he's very hard to bring down. So good luck. And he could beat you short. He could beat you on all 3 levels. Let him go deep on you. You got to stop him. He's quick. He's fast. He's strong. He's physical. Then you got to find a way to stop Devontae Adams, who is one of the best route runners in the league, still playing at a high level, by the way. So you got to worry about his quickness. He does not need much time in his route for you to get lost. So a quick slant, you're lost. He has the ability to take it to the house. This is Devontae Adams that we're talking about in LA right now. So overall, looking at how this offense is made, how this offense is going to look in 2025, I'm just so happy that Matthew Stafford is our quarterback going into this season, and we're as dangerous as we can be right now. This is like a nice restart for this offense to get healthy, to get back on track, to consistently go out there week to week and light it up on these defenses, man. Health is going to be a major factor when it comes to that O-line, when it comes to Kyron, when it comes to the wide receivers, especially Puka, when it comes to Matthew Stafford himself. Protect this man at all costs. Top 5 in my book. I don't care. We could debate it all night long. There is no other quarterback. I mean, I forgot to mention Jaden Daniels in this conversation. His name popped up as well yesterday. It's way too soon. He's close. He's way too soon, though. It's 1 year in the bucket, man. Let's just pump the brakes. I mean, honestly, like we just saw CJ Stroud, major changes to that O-line, a sophomore slump. I mean, I'm not saying that it's the same scenario as Jaden Daniels, but things could change. Things can change. There's some stuff on tape now for him. Some teams might go out there and find his weakness. Who knows? But Jaden Daniels will be the closest that I would say, okay, cool. We got to work him into that top 5. But I'm looking since 2021, since Stafford's been a Ram, there's really no other quarterback that I would rather have in those crucial moments, or I would rather have going into the playoffs. Because again, when we look at the playoffs, I mean, Jaden Daniels, I mean, hey, tough luck. Maybe better luck next year. I mean, the Eagles were just the better team. But when you look at the playoffs and who the Eagles played, it comes back to us being the most feared, the most dangerous, and gave them the best fight, including the Super Bowl. The Chiefs got their ass whooped. So I'm just saying, when it comes to my squad, when it comes to my team, when you talk that top 5 quarterback conversation, make sure you got Matthew Stafford there. Okay? Let's just have that clear. So that's all I got today. But of course, I'm happy you guys are liking and subscribing to the videos. I see you guys in the TikTok comments, Facebook comments, Twitter. Doesn't matter. Wherever this is at and living and breathing, I see you guys, and I appreciate all the support you guys are going out there each and every week, loving the pod, showing love to the Rams Recap on the Sick Podcast Network. So I'll see you guys maybe next week or maybe after the draft where I react to round 1 if we make a pick. Because if we trade out and we ain't got a pick, there ain't going to be nothing to react to other than the trade. So maybe I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. But again, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the pod. Make sure you guys follow me on all social media platforms at Real Deal Fantasy. Until next time.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Rams Recap with LaQuan Jones on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.